6 for Hassan Ali seals solid start for Lancashire. Lancashire took total control of their match with Kent at the Spitfire ground. A first innings total of 506 handed them a winning position early on, one which they capitalised on despite the resistance of Ben Compton. Gloucestershire, meanwhile, were on the wrong end of the result, beaten by Yorkshire. And in front of them was an unenviable task, winning the toss and choosing to bat against an attack featuring James Anderson, Hassan Ali, Saqib Mahmood and Matt Parkinson. But Chris Dent and Marcus Harris acquitted themselves well, watchful but patient and building an early partnership and platform. The pair found their feet and started to find the boundary more regularly. 50 runs on the board without too much concern. Lunch was now in sight, and so was the spin of Matt Parkinson, dismissively hoisted down the ground and over the boundary by Harris to take Gloucestershire into the 90s. It was plain sailing for the visiting openers, all the way through to lunch, both into the 40s. The score now up to 100 with a boundary on the stroke of the break, and Lancashire's imposing attack kept at bay. Dent was then the first of the two to go to 50 runs, up to the mark with a couple off Mahmood's. He'd taken 106 balls to get there. Harris soon followed, punching Ali through the offside to get his half-century. His start to life in Gloucestershire colours off to a flyer. No sooner had they picked up their 50s, Lancashire finally prized the batters apart. The captain out for 52, Croft with the catch off Ali, taking a bit of a knock for his efforts. And then Harris too fell, strangled down the leg side by Mahmood, Salt with more good work behind the stumps. A third was forthcoming, Balderson rattled Bracey's stumps, the Gloucestershire keeper departing for 5. Van Buren could only add 4 before he too was caught down the leg side, another wicket for Mahmood. This was more like it for Lancashire, with 150 on the board for the visitors. Ali had another, Hammond caught by Salt for 9. And it was 2-2 for the exuberant Pakistan international. Lace trapped in front first ball. Higgins and Gahar stopped the rot in the overs before tea, and they headed into the break in a bit of trouble at 170 for 6. Gloucestershire showed some fight after the break. Lancashire were kept out, but runs were hard to come by. That wouldn't prevent them moving past 200. Higgins turning one around the corner for 4 to bring the total up and the value of the partnership to 50. The piece was eventually broken by Matt Parkinson. Gahar came down the track, missed the ball, and Salt did the rest. Gloucestershire now 7 down. Shaw tried to put pressure on the bowlers with a booming 6 off Parkinson, but his fun would be short-lived, dragging Hassan Ali on for 18. It would be the Hassan show from that point on. 5 wickets his when Warner was taken low down at third slip by Lamb. Higgins gave Gloucestershire something to enjoy, up to 50 with 2 off Ali, the runs taking the visitors past 250 in the process. But it wasn't long before the innings was over, Ajit Singh Dale falling for Ali's 6th, Gloucestershire all out for 252. A good start handed to them by top order 50s from the top scorer Harris and Chris Dent. Higgins too had added valuable runs with his 51 in the middle order. Ali though had shone the brightest, finishing with 6 of 47, a scintillating performance with the ball. Despite the late hour, Lancashire re-emerged to start their innings, but ran into some early difficulty when George Balderson was on the wrong end of a run-out by Zafar Gahar. That's where they finished, Lancashire 11 for 1 in reply to Gloucestershire's 252, a hint perhaps that the visitors weren't in such a bad position after all. They'll look to build on that early momentum on day 2, with Hassan Ali's impressive bowling performance, encouragement for their own attack.